Alright, we're with the Massey Ferguson here by field 11, getting ready to do a harvest. We'll get ourselves all set up. I'm going to put a little bit of the headlands in. And then we're going to turn it over to one of our workers, which we finally got into town. J-Rock has hired some fellas. Ricky, Murray, Chris, and Johnny are going to be staying in the bunkhouse, giving us a hand here. I'm going to start this barley harvest, do a little bit in cab. Might not be the best. We'll see how it goes. Once we get a helper onto this, I'm going to talk a little more to the biofuel plant people. Now, they already want me to invest $300,000 into building this plant. But they also had some other things that we're going to talk to them about. They need the materials to put in the biofuel plant, which I think it runs off canola. So we need to commit to supplying them with canola. Now, I do not think I've ever done in-cab on this Massey Ferguson. Let's see what that does. Nothing. Alright, not so many in-cab controls. But we'll continue with our barley harvest. I believe we are... Ooh, we should check that. Yes, we are laying down our straw so we can collect it later. I always like to collect that straw as chaff. Free silaging material. Wonder if our windshield wiper works. I might have to check that out. So yeah, we got a few things to do today. Let's see if I can turn this around right in cab. I like to leave it for a second or two so it lays that straw swath down correctly. It's not all jagged on the end. I know folks do like to see a little bit of in-cab. Makes it seem less gamey, I guess. More like real life. Kind of depends on how straight I keep it. And I did go ahead and buy a second class forage harvester, because we have a cornfield that's about ready to go, and we're going to do that as silage. Looks like we're getting pretty full already. Well, we'll have to get the Wilson trailer and empty out. I think we're going to let Chris jump in here. Once we get rolling. There's the farm up front. Yeah, we may even get to purchasing some animals for our fattening installations in this episode. We'll just see how it goes, I guess. $7.98, $99. I think it's going to stop us here. We'll put the pipe out and get into our truck. Now I've got the Mack truck with the double Wilson trailers. We're not going to use chaser bins since we're so close to our silos. This is not the fastest, but it'll haul quite a heavier load. I don't think we got the pipe all the way out. There we go. Now we're working. So yeah, we've got a few things to work on today. Okay, Chris is full again. Doing a pretty good job on this field, keeping it all straight. Not too many missed spots. See if I can maneuver the Mack truck onto the pipe there. And we're already 20% full, 28% full. We'll be over 40,000 once we get Chris emptied here. You might be able to see up in the yard. We're already preparing for collecting the straw. And we're getting close to having that silage field ready of corn. Be a little while, but we'll have some potatoes down in field 4 too. $7 o'clock, I guess the fellows will expect breakfast pretty soon. If we're lucky, we can convince Ricky or Murray to cook. They are pretty good camp cooks. See if we can convince them to do double duty for us here on the ranch. Alright, I think Chris is about empty. Right, here in the main yard with our Hobbs farm trailer and the green Kenworth day cab. What we're doing right now, after talking with Ricky and Murray, they had the idea that maybe we should rotate some of our supplies. Let's get out the old stuff in preparation for new material coming in. And since we're getting quite a bit We'll have new grass in soon. We're going to take all our old grass supply over to the BGA. And throw it in one of the silage bunkers. So we'll fill up and make a run over there. Yeah, we're filling from the pipe this time. I think 100,000 liters is a little bit too much to try to fill with the Massey Ferguson telehandler. Alright, we will see you over there. Just pulling into the bunker area here with our second load of grass. I realized I didn't record dumping the first load. So this is the second 100,000 liters of old grass that we're going to silage and sell. Real life, if you thought you were going to get rid of some feed, grass, silage, I don't think you really want to feed it to your animals. You do something like this where you're really just selling it for the fuel content in it. You're not trying to feed animals old stale grass. At least that's my thinking about it. One more small load of grass and then we'll start filling it again. Alright, you may have been wondering where we're getting all this new grass that we're putting into the grain stores. And we're in field 3, and I mowed and windrowed all the grass that's to the east of the oil pumps. And we've been collecting that up. We'll do a little bit with y'all. This is something I like to do in cab. No problem with the view. Imagine it get boring, so we won't do too awful much grass collecting. You can see it's already growing up in some areas. It was quite the thing to get mowed and windrowed by myself. We got the forestry block over here on our right. Haven't done much there yet, especially since this is a part of the map we don't go to too often. Thought I'd show a little bit at least. Our helpers are settling into the bunkhouse, getting a few things done. See if I can make this turn and go back. Well, things look pretty good in the cab here in the New Holland T8. Nicely made interior. Come back up to the oil pump section. All right. Well, that's where we got all that new grass we're laying in. Now, you may have noticed that the New Holland T8 was nice and clean, which is unusual for me. But that's because of this. The Karcher brand power washer. Now, I gave J-Rock a credit card and sent him down to this farm store, asked him to get us a nice heavy-duty power washer. This is what he came back with. It's worked pretty good so far. Ricky and Johnny wired it in, piped us some water. It seems like a good place for it. In the middle of the sheds where we park the vehicles. Doesn't seem like it's in the way, but it's convenient to use, you know. And we've got that grate to drain the water away too. So yes, that's why some of the vehicles and equipment are a little bit cleaner than you're used to seeing from me. Okay, by the main farm in field 11 where we harvested that barley before. We've got that Ford 9000 on an Australian road train trailer and our Class Jaguar with an easy collect head and a horse chaser wagon. And we're collecting our straw up as chaff so we can throw it in the silage bin. Now this is another job I like to do in cab. Again, I can see exactly what I'm supposed to be doing and where I'm supposed to be going. It's pretty fun. This is another one that the interior is pretty nicely made. But we're going to collect this whole field of straw up and run it over to the BGA plant. Start filling another bunker over there. Chris made these rows pretty straight when he harvested, except for little bits at the end sometimes. But since we got a pretty good sized chaser wagon behind us and taking these turns a little bit wide so we don't jackknife anything. I believe we're going to get this entire field of straw in that one trailer. I'm not sure how the Ford 9000 is going to handle that. Seems like it's starting to struggle a little bit, being 60% full. Looking out over the fields to the south there, the hillsides. All right. Yeah, I think that's enough straw collecting for a while. Yeah, we're here down at the farm store. And yeah, that's right. There's a Dodge and a Chevy pickup truck here. Uh, with such a big work crew, we needed something for the guys to get around in. Go do errands, or go to town, or drive out to a field. And this is pretty much what they had in stock. Dodge Ram 2500 and the Chevy Silverado with dualies on the back. Now, I don't normally give in to peer pressure, but I figured they all needed something to drive. We got a good bargain on these two. It's pretty much all they had in stock at the moment in used trucks that were a decent size. And the last reason is I've got my own pickup truck. I'm not going to be the guy walking back to the bunkhouse when one of these two breaks down. So we've got a couple of pickups for doing chores with. Now for our ranch manager, J-Rock, I found a little something interesting at the used car lot for him to drive around. Little Cadillac Escalade. It's got the third row seating. We can all pack in and go to town for supper on Friday nights.